Everybody. We have me and Steve here from Third Derivative to do the Milestone 1 check-in video. So, what I helped a little bit with this week was interviewing our friend Sanjana. She hosts a lot of like parties and get-togethers and tailgates at her apartment. So, talking to her really helped us understand a little bit more about what kinds of problems our product could address and also what kinds of things we could build to help make party planning and event planning easier for her. My voice is a little bit out of it this week, so I'm gonna pass the floor to Steve, and he's gonna talk a little bit more about what we have going so far. So, Steve, take it away.
Hey, hey. So, well, this week will be very boring, but let's talk about the tech stack. All right. Let me, you probably already know about EC2 at this point. Like, obviously, you're the intended audience. A lot of the stuff is trying to figure out how, like, the idea behind, how would I say this? I think we ended up picking week one to be easy on us. So it's not really easy in that sense. And the main reason is because we have a lot of ideas. Like I think this I would just assume that we have consent from the Raleigh who was very busy and can't be here. But one of the one of the ideas that we had at the start was to what was start here. One one of the ideas we had at the start is to include Yelp Places API and to use that as ra what do you call it? Retrieval augmented. This is what we were trying to do. Retrieval augmented generate. Well, this is just lab 7 or 8 all over again. And we did do that. So, in fact, what we did was, um, oh no, no, that's a mock chat. What we did was we scraped the entirety of our chat and we wanted to see if there was something we could figure it out. And as you can see, this is literally our chat. Like we were talking about, like this was lab one probably. And if you go to, is it this? Yes, it's literally just more conversations that we had. Um, and then we ran rag. So mental health is kind of funny. Python rag. Hurry. There we go. So like I said, the first three are, oh wait, these three are well us, and these are from a very mock chat that we try to figure it out. And if you list a bunch of like, if you go and see like facts about each of us, like a lot of like there's definitely a bunch of facts. Okay, probably this one should be shown, but there's a bunch of facts that would make sense for um how would I say this? Like th there's a bunch of facts that would just be facts. Like they don't really tell you anything interesting. And this is where our main issue comes into play. Because the entire time our argument has been it's always been a fight between we can definitely do this on a technical scale of things, which well, for example, we're doing them right now. So we even have a help function. It's insane. Uh let's say let's say me. Uh, eh. What did I type for you? Well, good to know. But like the facts do show up, and you even have like the similarity number, which is not related to the silhouette. It was like a really weak calculation, like based on the embeddings. But like I said, it's not entirely difficult to do these things. I even had some time to figure out the tech stack. We installed like Postgre, SQL. We might be installing some stuff like MongoDB in the future for image storage, but that's not the main point. Like the, the, the main issue we're currently facing right now is we can do a lot of things apparently. Like even now we're like slowly realizing that a lot of the technical ideas are actually doable. Um, the bigger issue is how would we do it so that it sells? And to show that, I think it's probably better to show you what I had in mind. So we all know that synthetic data is not really great, right? I'm fully aware of that. What we ended up doing, however, is what I ended up doing, um, was I tried to create like a synthetic version of a chat, and I tried to figure out what the point is. Like you can see some of the names mentioned with like some of the general like ideas. I typed out half of this, and the other half was, I mean, the general ideas and how each person would uh operate in their plane of belief. It's not really a great way to say this, I know, but like there's a lot of information like here, and if you even go down, isn't it like I think go to 2000. Do that. Like you can see conversations keeping on going, and we had like I believe like a bunch of events going on. From the initial meeting to like food hangouts, meetings culminating in like someone's birthday. I tried creating all of that synthetically and see if there is a general idea, something that would make creating like small chats make sense. There was none. Not that not that I figured out anyway. Which yes, I know this was supposed to be a tech stack conversation. You probably already saw the tech stack. You know what? Let me finish it by showing the tech stack, because otherwise there's kind of no point. Um, so we just call OpenAI, generate query embeddings. It's literally just similar stuff. Except now we use a vector similarity, which is probably not the best idea. I it's just the easiest part, however. This is where mainly where I want um to figure things out on the tech side. And I will explain this later. But this just says off the facts as you have already seen. Like this is just fact collection, whatnot, right? Nothing interesting, and I'm so bad at explaining. Sorry, guys. This is just fact extraction. Like if you've done lab 8 or lab 9, this is yeah, this is nothing really interesting. It's just user facts. And yeah, like there's not a lot of interesting stuff. Which now brings us to the more technical stuff that we were trying to articulate ourselves. So initially the plan was one small group with uh with a bunch of events. And you can probably see this by how I created the synthetic chat, or to be more exact, oh, we do have a bunch of events. And we were thinking about having these events to be within like a small group of people, and the rack would save like these inputs as they go. And then we would like try cutting my messages and see what facts get saved and how the AI like stores all the facts and then creates them into this sort of memory that it can then retrieve. Like I said, it goes back to like how we were trying to make like a RAG KB like work. So we would have all of these memories, and then from those memories, they would retrieve them to like intervene into future conversations while like still remembering the quirks of each person. So for example, Tanya, and this is true to life, Tanya would be this one person who would nudge everyone to have birthdays.
True that.
See, yeah, and that that is in fact something I will test in the upcoming days. If it works, it works, right? But going back to what I was trying to say, like the initial idea before all of this was to use RackDB on like live API data, but it became painfully obvious very painfully earlier like on that there is no point on doing so because you can just call the API. And so a lot of the ideas had to be scrapped. Even our I mean our second version was probably a lot better. The version that where Nerali filmed everything. The ideas were great. Um, but there were like quite a few of privacy issues involved, and that still didn't really answer the question. So I guess for this to make sense, I would assume you have already watched the interview with Sanjana. But from our perspective, we realized that all of this isn't really solved issue, right? So I can make like a bunch more of these, and they don't solve issue. You can probably see like we fetch a bunch of stuff from the API. We even have a full not this one. This is just a schema. Where is it? That's probably outside. Uh, yeah, the chat export. No, that was not. I wiped it. No. Well, okay. I can get them back later, but it's probably in my downloads folder right now. But all of that kind of just tells me that this is not really a solution to the issues that I currently face. We currently face. So after the interview with Sanjana, we realized that the difficulty with hosting events from the host perspective is actually like there's a lot of repetition involved. A lot of the work, for example, goes down to talking to people, kind of just like re repeating to people like, here's the location you need to come, like you need to bring this, you need to do that, like this is your dress code, um, here's my room. Like these are real things that Sanjana said during the interview, and it kind of made me think that the if you really want to build a rack in that sense, it's probably better to specifically have a conversation with with the host itself. So you make an interactive chat where the host or not by the way, where the host could just post off their like stuff either interactively through communication to like help the host figure everything out or not interactively where the host just posts everything from notes or whatever, what have you, right? And the AI would save all of that information and then from that information creates like a to-do list. So something I've really liked about um I mean both from my usage of AI and my personal experience, it is that it really helps to have like some sort of to-do list, right? And so I'm thinking like if the AI also has a planning of to-do lists to then do like have actionable like stuff. So I guess what I was trying to think is more so like the AI has to-do list, right? Plus a bunch of commands. So this is something this is more back-end stuff than rack itself, but like let's say if it can do slash poll or slash invite or what have you, then this would be much better. And then from the rack, like well, no, the rack results comes here, and then the to-do list leads to these commands or leads to more stuff that the bot can do. And we also had plans to include photos. Well, this is already included in the previous uh what do you call them? Like the previous version of the non what do you, the grandpa version, I guess. And
The
that's from huh?
legacy?
Well, no, like the grandpa selling point one.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, I
Like
understand.
yeah, a lot of them were already mentioned, right? So we are still trying to figure out what to do, but after a lot of like easy to like preparation and database, so we even have schema, right? So uh database. Nope, don't do that. Oh, of course. Yeah. But uh this one really. No? Oh. So we already have like a bunch of table with users, tables, memberships, messages, user facts, group facts, part past events. So like a lot of the ideas are already created one way or another. Um, and I would say it goes decently well. It's more so like an entirely like an entire change of approach. Like uh, not even an entire change of approach. It's just different priorities. And so I guess technically we did meet what we said we would meet. Um, at the same time, this also means that week two will be really technically heavy. Whereas, whereas this week we were just talking about like the entire change in how we would approach the problem. And for that, I would say it went okay. Like it's not like we tested a lot. We even made like the whole synthetic chat for this, which I didn't really get a chance to test, but it probably will make a lot of sense if you go watch Sanjana's video beforehand. And yeah, like very simple Lapland stuff with some extensions, similarities that may help with recalling and maybe pulling out a memory. Um, I I will do that. We will do that regardless next week. But yeah, otherwise, it's surprisingly a successful first week even by my standards. So yeah, if anything to say, because I feel like yeah, because at the end of the day, I feel like uh, week one has been more about finding a selling point,
Hmm.
and like I said, then I don't really have a lot to talk about
Yeah.
because we don't want to because it comes into this right, and we have a bunch of stuff, but
Hmm.
it goes beyond that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we spent more of week one just trying to figure out the purpose and um like just it was just a lot of like thinking about what exactly we wanted to get out of this product and what exactly was useful and not useful and how we can make our product stand out in the market and things like that. Asking a lot of questions like why would you use this instead of using other tools that already exist? Um, but yeah, I think it's just like what Steve said. We spent a lot of time thinking things out. I think now that we have a clear idea of what we want to do, this coming week is going to be more heavy on building that vision. Um, I don't think I really have too much to say. And if that's the case, maybe we could just wrap up the video here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not a lot to talk about, but we did build a lot, and unironically, this building actually helped me in particular have a lot more vision. And I will also concede that we really should have emailed uh people earlier.
Hmm.
Like I feel like we had a lot of uncertainty with the approach that we went, and even then, there was just a lot of issues with how you would approach a problem of this size.
Hmm.
None of us expected this to be to have such absolutely annoying consequences, you know, like privacy. Like no one cares about privacy in a pedagogical setting.
Hmm.
I'm not even joking. Like no one cares.
Hmm.
But now that we're out here, we have to be like, oh my god, the SEC is gonna slap our asses if we don't do things well. No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's exactly the thing. Because when you start to think about things from like the commercial's perspective, you have to consider the client, you have to consider what things they might be comfortable with, the ethics behind a lot of our decisions. So we, as fun as it might be to like scrape their iMessage, it ethically doesn't make sense to do that. I don't think anyone out there wants their iMessage to be scraped and shared with this other third party company. So we just have to think about ways that we can effectively use the RAG to still meet the needs of our product.
Yeah, that's
But
why it's
yeah.
hard.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess with that being said, we can wrap up this week's video. Hopefully next week we can show you a little bit more about the technical side and we'll have more ideas to share. But yeah, thank you for watching.
Oh yeah, one last thing.
Yeah.
You know what? If you watch this, I would rather you be kind of harsh on us this week because we really would love to see your perspective on everything.
Hmm.
I I don't know if you're Dr. Cho or his TA, but I would rather you be harsh this week, like, because I would very much want to know
Hmm.
where the approach should,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll set up some. Do you have
Yeah.
office hours? Do you ever have office hours?
I'm not sure, but maybe we email him and ask to set up an appointment or something.
We can, we can. I'll leave that to you. Anyways,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can do that. Well, Dr.
All
Cho,
right.
if you have feedback for us, you watched it this far, we'd love to hear it. Or we'll set up a meeting with you and tell you the literal exact same thing. But with that being said, I will hit end of the recording now. Thank you for watching. Bye.